What you're looking at is 10 3-foot pieces of rebar, metal rebar. I picked them up yesterday. I went to my favorite hardware store, told them what I needed. They chopped them into 3-foot pieces. And these are going to be used to build my first hoop house. I can't wait for the weather to break a little bit so I can get started on the hoop house. Of course, by some people's standards, you know, it would be, what do you mean the weather break? Look at this. It's nice and sunny out here, not a lick of snow anywhere. The temperature's almost into the 50s, you know. Well, by Arkansas standards, it's still pretty cool. The hoop house, by the way, is going to go over there. I'm going to chop down a couple of trees right here so the limbs won't fall on them. One of them's stone dead anyway, and I'm going to wind up leaving just one. I'm going to put the hoop house over there. There's a nice little water source for it. At least that's the plan right now. Wifey says, no, you shouldn't put it there. And, you know, a lot of water accumulates there, but I don't know. We'll see. Here are the 10-foot pieces of a 1/2-inch PVC conduit that I'll be using with those pieces of rebar. You know, what we're going to do is we'll put the rebar in the ground, and then we'll arch the 2 pieces of conduit over the top and make an arch out of it. And we're going to make, the hoop house will be 25 feet long. It's going to be an experimental hoop house this year. I wanted something cheap. I wanted something easy and fast to put up. And we're going to find out if it works. Now, if it does, then next year, if I'm still breathing, we'll put up a little more permanent structure. Now, of course, I'll be building a permanent structure next year only if I'm successful in growing crops in pots. And I will be doing much of it underneath the hoop house, you know, because Arkansas heat just gets so hot here in the summer sometimes. Not every year, but sometimes it's just blistering hot and it just tears up a garden. And I just don't have the energy anymore to fight that. So that's why we're going with a hoop house. You know, there's always a better way. There's always a way around it. So anyway, Gordon sent me this book, which was very, very nice of him. You saw it in the last Mish-Mash video. But there's also one other individual on YouTube. And he is from Ireland. And he grew a whole bunch of potatoes in pots. And he did it experimentally. They were pots about this same size you see right here. And he put he kept a log. He kept a log and he wrote down in the log how many potatoes he put in each pot, what kind of potatoes he put in each pot. Now some of them were half potatoes, 2 or 3 halves cut in half, potatoes cut in half, or quarters. Sometimes he put whole potatoes, like 2 of these or 3 of these, or maybe 4 of those, and then he put down in the log the exact type of potato. He grew several different kinds. It was a long process. He did a fantastic job. And I watched his entire series. Now his YouTube handle is Bacon Soda. Bacon Soda. And he's been a YouTube member since 2006. So visit his channel. It's all one word, Bacon Soda. And believe it or not, I'm very impressed with this guy, this Bacon Soda fella. And believe it or not, his name is also Brendan. On the way to work today, I decided to swing by the St. Joseph Church Flea Market, which is one of my favorite little markets in addition to Salvation Army. And, you know, I've been kind of wanting a combination unit so I could put more than one LP on the platter or on the spindle, and then, you know, it would sit there and play 2 or 3 LPs. I don't think I want to put many more than that, maybe 4 at the most. You know, the Techniques turntable I have is fantastic, but every time you know the record ends, you got to get up and, you know, so that's why I play a lot of 8-track tapes instead. Anyway, I walked in, you know, like I normally do, and back in the electronics department, there sat this thing right here. I said, whoa, check this out. You know, where did this come from? You know, I figured I was going to have to go to eBay and spend 30 bucks on one plus shipping. You know, it could be like 50 bucks or more before it's over, 60 bucks. But here was this one sitting back here. 8-track player, it said worked. AM, FM radio, it said worked. And the turntable did not work. Well, you know, maybe I could fix it, I'm thinking, you know, maybe. Well, I tried to move these buttons. They wouldn't move at all. They were jammed tight, just jammed. And I said, man, what the heck is wrong with that? Anyway, I've torn it all apart, fiddle-farted around with it, cleaned out the cleaned the heads and all around the capstan on the 8-track. Look at the nasty mess that was down in there. That was just from the capstan. That's that little motor. That's that little shaft, rather, that's attached to the motor that drives the tape when you stick it in. It's called a capstan. And once I got that clean, I stuck a headset in here, in the headset hole, stuck a tape in. She's working fine, working fine. But the lights didn't work as I went through the push the button, channel 1, 2, 3, 4. I did a little spraying, a little more cleaning. Now the lights work as I go through. The AM/FM radio works good, and I'm going to be hooking up a speaker to it later so you can hear it, probably in another Mish-Mash video. I got a lot of cleaning to do on it. And I was able to finally remove the turntable and get up under there, and I found out that the metal gears had been, I guess, in the same position for so long that they were jammed. So I was able to unjam them, and the old this is a direct drive turntable, by the way. And it's a Montclair model SS100. I can't remember who made Montclair. It seems to me it was JCPenney's or sold by JCPenney. I can't remember. Anyway, the turntable's working real good. And now, the record size button is good. The only thing that I'm missing is the cartridge for it. And I can pick one up on eBay for about $17, $18, free shipping. So that's what I'm going to do. It's amazing. The cartridge costs more than the whole unit. Anyway, I also have the adapter for it that fits over here for my 45s. And I thought that was pretty good buy. And so I went ahead and picked it up and brought it home. $5. Well, as you can see, there is a noticeable absence of a pellet stove on this rock hearth. The reason being is we just got sick of the sound. We tried everything we could to repair it, tried everything we could to make the sound, diminish to the point where it was tolerable on the exhaust blower motor. We changed out 3 of them, and it just, it was just ridiculous. So I went back to Lowe's, and I got a hold of a fella I knew there. And I said, hey, there was another stove just like it on the floor, and I said, can we plug this in? I want to see what this one sounds like. We plugged it in, same exact noise. It was horrible. The guy looked at me and he says, man, that would get to you after a while. I said, trust me, it did get to me. The next day, I took the stove back, got my money back. Now, wintertime's almost over in Arkansas. We've only got about 3-4 weeks left. And so I think we're just going to go without a pellet stove the rest of the year. And we'll come up with something better next year. It's probably going to cost me a lot more money. But the one we get next year, this whole thing's been a fantastic learning experience for me. I know what better to look for. I know how to, check these things out before I buy them. I never expected a blower motor to be that loud. I mean, it's just one of those things. Anyway, that's what we have right now. So that's the pellet stove business is on hold till next year. This morning, wifey is peeling up some turnips. Oh, I love her turnips. And a lot of people say, well, I don't like turnips because they're bitter. I just don't like them. They're bitter. Well, when you peel your turnip, you got to get down below a line on the turnip. Let me see. These are pretty young turnips, so they may not be easy to find. There it is right there. See where my thumb, I don't know if you can see that line, that barely discernible line. About what is that? About 1/8 of an inch. Let me see if I can do a little close-up here. There we go. See where the line ends right there? All the way around the edge. When you peel your turnips, you have to peel below that line. If you just peel the skin off above that line, you're going to have bitter turnips. But if you peel it below the line, all the way around, get it deep like she's doing right here. She's cutting very deep. And the bitterness goes away. An old trick. And then you boil them up and put butter on them and salt and pepper. I'll tell you what, they really are good with that bitterness gone. Now here she's already got some of the turnips cooking. She sliced them thin, and she's about to add some bacon in it. And once we get the bacon flavor mixed in with the turnips, I'll tell you what, I may have some of these for my lunch today, right?
I don't know if they'll be done.
They may not be done for my lunch, but it would be nice if they were. Today we're going to make some Mongolian beef over rice. Now normally I would go ahead and mix up, the ingredients, would get a piece of ginger and slice it up, throw in some garlic and a bunch of other things. And but this time I'm going to do a little bit different. I'm going to get a little help from Sunbird Mongolian beef seasoning mix. Now you still have to come up with some soy sauce, it says, and you have to come up with a little water and a little oil and some green sliced onions or green onions, but that's not a problem. Now what I'm going to do, they tell you in the package here to go ahead and, you know, fry your meat in a frying pan until it's done and everything. I'm not going to do that. We're going to do it in the deep fryer. We're going to fry it in the deep fryer. Yes, we are. Now I've gone ahead and cut off all this little gristle and all this other crap here. We're going to fry that up and give it to the pooches later. Oh, they're going to have a nice little snacky. They usually last them 2-3 days. You know, we give them a little bit at a time. And we're going to eat the big stuff here. And what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and put some cornstarch on that meat to kind of dry it up a little bit. You know, we want to dry it up because it is awfully wet. And we're going to let it sit in the refrigerator for maybe a half an hour or whatever, and let it soak away until she's totally dry. I'll mix this all around with my hands. Let's go ahead and whip up the rest of this fixins here. Now, according to this mixture, I don't know if I'll ever use this again, but I figured, what the heck? Let's give it a shot. You know, they want a 1/4 cup of soy sauce mixed with 4 tablespoons of water. Well, since we've got so much meat, we're going to be feeding more than just a couple of people. We're going to go ahead and use 2 packs of this, which will require a 1/2 cup of soy sauce and 8 tablespoons of water. And we have 3 different kinds of soy sauce we can use here. You know, the all-purpose, and then we have this Kikkoman Tamari. It's I don't know. I guess it's probably a little bit stronger. And then we have this new stuff that just came out with Walmart. Kind of interesting, you know. So what I think I'll do is I'm gonna save this Walmart stuff for a while. I'm gonna go ahead and do a mixture of the 2 Kikkomans in there until I get about a 1/2 cup. I may take more of this and less of this. I don't know. I'm going to kind of taste them a little bit and see what the difference in flavor is. Our meat is out of the fridge. It's been sitting there just sort of marinating in cornstarch. And we're going to go ahead and drop it down. I'm cooking this at 350 degrees, by the way. But it's not going to be in there very long. Just enough to basically turn it brown. I don't want to really do a heavy cooking on it because we're going to do additional frying in a frying pan. So here goes. I'll be watching this very closely. Alright, the water and the soy sauce are mixed together. What I did was I went with a little more of this and you know, but a little bit more than I expected with this, till I got a 1/2 cup. I didn't use any of this. We'll use it next time. These are both good, but this one has a little bit stronger, saltier taste, so I went a little bit more of that. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and take our little Mongolian beef mixture stuff. We're going to pour it in there. And I'm also going to add, I'm going to put 2 packages in there. Let's go ahead and just do that. Get them both in there. And I smelled the packages and I did not smell enough garlic. There was not enough garlic in those packages. So we're going to stir it all around. And then I'm just going to let it sit until I get ready to add it to the meat in the frying pan that's already going to be cooked. Well, let's see how she's doing. I've been picking it up, putting it down in. She's coming along pretty good. Just a few more minutes. Kind of put it down, you know, and then pick it up, put it down, pick it up till you get to the right color you want, where it's not overcooked. That is just about right. Just about the way we want it. You know, we don't want it burnt to a crisp, and we don't want it cooked 100% all the way through, because like I said, we're going to be frying it in the frying pan with all that soy sauce and all that crap, so it'll finish cooking right there. To go with this meal, wifey's cooking up some of our leftover pinto beans and ham hocks that she made the other day, and she's also got some rolls, crescent type rolls, that are going to be cooked to go with it. That's going to be good stuff. Can't wait. And of course the rice is almost getting ready to boil. That's what a rice cooker looks like if you've never seen one. Just put the water in there, the rice, per the instructions that comes with it, then just hit that button down, it does all the rest. You don't have to do anything. Cooks it all by itself. Some of you may want to know what kind of rice that we use in our rice cooker. We use the Calrose stuff. It works real good. And if I could get a hold of some really good quality Japanese rice around here, I'd rather use it. But this is good stuff. This is a product of the United States. It's supposed to be here somewhere. Yep, U.S. #1 fancy product of the USA. Good Japanese rice, though, cannot be beat. Trust me. But it does a good job. This works just as well. Alright, now we're going to add a little oil to a frying pan. About that much olive oil. Don't need a whole lot. And then we're going to bring our meat over and get it in there and get it frying up. Alright, the meat's in. Now we're going to pour our Mongolian mixture all over that thing. All over it. Yes, we are. Alright, now I need my wooden spoon. I'm going to go ahead and mix this around with my wooden spoon. And boil her on down. Then the last ingredient we'll add will be some green onions. Hope I didn't overcook that meat. I don't think I did. I added just a touch of water, maybe 1/8 of a cup, just to give it a little more liquidy movement in the pan. And oh man, does that smell good. Pretty soon we'll add those green onions and I think we'll be ready to go. And here goes. Normally you cut about, inch long green onions, but they don't have any this time of year for some reason, or they sold out. So we're just going to have to use the pre-cut kind, a little bit thinner. I mean, a little bit shorter. A little bit thinner, too, probably, since this is winter. Okay, I think we're about ready to put it over the rice. All right, I'm fixing to get the verdict. Somebody taste it and tell me what you think. Ethan, you're going to be the guinea pig. Tell me what you think of the Mongolian beef with the rice. I need a professional opinion now. I want those taste buds. What do you think?
Tastes good.
Tastes good? Sure smells good. What do you think, Evan?
It's got a kick to it.
Got a kick to it. I like that.
Real strong.
All right, I just tried it. I think it tastes very good. Next time I might water it down just a little bit more. I mean, it's nice and thick this time. Tastes really good, but maybe a little thinner would be better. What do you think, Scott? A little thinner? I think a little thinner, but it tastes really good. All right, until next time. This is John.